I got there in December, and another year went by before we entered the war. We had to get prepared for a war. And then we hit Ireland for 3 months to get all our equipment. And after 3 months, it brought us around the Horn to France. And the only part of France we could land in was Normandy. And, after 4 months, I spent time in a hospital in Paris, France. Got hit in both legs. And then they said I was ready to go home. And he said, boy, you guys are slow. He said, I was ready to go home about 6 months ago. I'm still there. So I made my paperwork out, jumped on a boat, came back to New York and back home. Most of the foreigners can speak 3 or 4 languages. So it was perfect because I could speak Italian and English and get along with them real good, you know. Then I tried to get in Italy. The war was still surrounded all of Italy up in the Alps. And there was a whole bunch of GIs there. And they were trying to get in. And the soldiers were talking to me. And they asked me, can you speak Italian? He says, that's why I'm here. He said, you guys speak in Italian? He said, yeah. And I asked them where they were from in Italy. They asked me, what do you speak? I says, I'm a Marchigiano. He says, you're a Marchigiano? He says, you ought to be able to get in the gate easy because they speak a better language and easier to understand. So I says, yeah, it's fine. He says, where do I go? He said, you see that bunch of guys over there by the gate? I said, yeah, go there by the gate. And you tell the guard, he's going to ask you in Italian what you speak. So I went to the gate, and they speak double-line fences, and the Italian guard was on the back side of the gate, and he had his shanty right next to the gate. All the soldiers stayed. And he came out, and when he spoke to me in Italian, I says to the guard, I said, tu sei Marchigiano? He said, si. And he said to me, what are you? Marchigiano. He looked at me. He started talking to me in Italian, and I was answering him. He says, how come you're in the American Army? Because I was born in America. He says, want to be here for a while? As long as they tell me to come here, I'll be at the gate here. He said, then we're going to see you tomorrow? I said, yeah. When I went back there the second day, there were about 15 or 20 Italian soldiers in that one little shanty right by the border. They all came out. They're all Marchigianos. To me, it's like talking English. I know it backwards because my mom and dad were born in Italy. And I started talking to them. And they had me come in the gate. The gates were open. And right next to the gate is a little shack or barracks, whatever you call it, for soldiers, Italian soldiers. He took me in there. I was the only one in there. So I told him in Italian, why am I in your barrack? He said in Italian, them soldiers out there, the American soldiers, none of them can speak Italian. I says, all those guys out by the gate are all from Italy. He says, their mom and mother and father are born in Italy, and they came to the United States. And I'm talking in Italian all this time. And they said, ma tu sei marchigiano? I said, sì. You know, it's just, I could speak their language. And the guard says, you weren't born in Italy? I says, no, I was born in America. But we never ended up in Berlin where we were supposed to go. By that time, the war was over. And they shipped you all the way back to England, wait for another boat to go home. It seemed to me like forever.
Did you experience any post-traumatic stress while going through it?
Oh, you know, a lot of people say what you just said. When you come back home and the war is over, they said the same thing you said, stress. And a lot of the guys I was with, they said, why are you people saying stress? What does that mean? Well, we didn't know what stress meant in a war, but we were in it all the time. So they asked us more questions about stress and all that. Half of the guys didn't even answer. They said, you know, fellas, we've been through all of this bullshit. We don't need those highfalutin words. We're glad we're back home and we're going home now.